Good morning. It's about 20 past 11 on New Year's Day. I'm out close to Rolsberga, heading out on a 3 or 4 day trip, not sure yet. So the plan today is to walk from here up to Ringsjön, have some lunch there, get some nice pictures hopefully, then head back the way I'm coming now to Rolsberga and camp there tonight. Camped there a few weeks ago, lovely place. So looking forward to that. Then tomorrow is about a 20k walk down to Krankesjön. And the day afterwards, if I decide to finish, then it's off to Dolby. And if I decide to go for another day, then it's down to Häckeberga and camping at that campsite as well. So I've never been to Krankesjön, and I've heard a lot about it, so I'm really looking forward to that. The weather today is okay. You can kind of see around me. It's grey, but it's not raining and there is no wind. There's literally no wind at all right now. So this makes it quite nice. It's 2, maybe 3 degrees. It's supposed to be a little colder tomorrow and on Sunday, but it is meant to be sunnier, so a little clearer. I'm really looking forward to that. I have to say, these guys are consistently the best camping food that I've had. I've tried quite a few different places. This is such a fantastic place. So just at the edge of Ringsjön, and even here, there's like this little kind of stream that flows past, and you've got what is kind of sand. This has to be brought in, it must be artificial. And it just leads straight out into the Sjön. So it's now just before 5 o'clock, it's 10 to 5. And as you can see, it is basically completely pitch black. So what I'm walking towards now is the Lägerplats, the campsite at Rolsberga. It does have a different name, but I can never remember what it is. So yeah, there's my bags over there. There's a really very big, nice campfire here. A campfire place rather. My tent's pitched at the back. I cleared out all the leaves, or at least most of the leaves from under it, and also left quite a large gap at the bottom and opened up the vents as well. And the reason for that is there will be a lot of condensation during the night, so I'm trying to give it as much possibility to get out as I can. Good morning. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. As you can probably tell, the sun's due to go up in maybe 20 minutes, half an hour or so. Had a really good night's sleep last night. I wasn't able to get a fire going, but ended up 10 and a half hours of sleep. Now these, in summertime, it's got writing on. Oscar, Josefina, 1836, Jakob, Delegade? Can't read that. But this would be an absolutely awesome place just to sit. You've got the river on this side and it swings all the way around down to here, so it's like a promontory. Oh, this would be amazing. If this was about half an hour to an hour later, I'd stop here and have breakfast, but it's too dark at the minute. Let's carry on. This is Rövarekulan on a Saturday morning. It's actually quite picturesque. I've just come walking down there. But what I do want to mention is that whoever does the trailblazers here is doing a fantastic job. Almost every single lamppost on the route has got an orange trailblaze. It is so easy to follow. Thank you, whoever does that. That's making the trip a lot easier. So this is next to the bus stop, which is there. 5.7k to Höghult, which is the midpoint of today. And I'm going to stay here and have a little bit of breakfast because there's a nice little circle of trees there with some benches, looking very inviting. This is Lägerplats at Höghult. So originally I'd planned to stay here for lunch and then push on to Krankesjön and stay there this evening. But I'm going to push straight on now. It's only about 11 o'clock. I think I can get to Krankesjön and then on to Väderkullen today. So if I can do that, then I can do the last section tomorrow. Nice place. Like most of this area, a little muddy, but it does have a well here. I haven't tested this, so I'm not sure if it works or not. No. This is the parking lot at Krankesjön. It's a bit busy for me. There's a lot of people in there, which is a shame. It's right next to the lake, so I'm going to walk on a few hundred meters and hope that I can find a spot near the lake where I can just sit down, have a spot of lunch and enjoy nature's beauty. Just had a very nice chicken tikka masala lunch on that tree stump. Now it's time to head to Väderkullen, which is where I'll stay tonight. I walked roughly a kilometre past Krankesjön, so I think I've got about 13 kilometres left, which should get me there. What time is it now? About 2:30, 5:30 or so, somewhere around there, depending on terrain and speed. Then set up for the night, have dinner, crash into the sleeping bag, and very, very probably sleep for about 12 hours. It's about 6 in the evening. I've made it from Krankesjön to Väderkullen, which is here. I put up the tent, blown up the sleeping bag, which for some reason takes almost as long as putting up the tent. And now I'm going to dive in there, sort myself out, probably skip dinner, I'm not hungry, and spend 10 hours sleeping. So this is Väderkullen. It has well, an empty firewood storage. It does have a bin, which is always a good thing. My tent, obviously. Vindhoed. Nice little area here, so place for fire, the usual kind of stuff. The one thing about it though is that there's very little space to be able to pitch a tent, and there's almost nowhere that's flat. Wow, look at this. It snowed last night. Alright, not a lot, but still. That's the lodge up there. Not sure if you can see it too well. Top of the Vindhoed. Oh, this is magical. It did feel a bit colder last night, although I was nice and toasty warm in my sleep system, so that's good. Right, time to put everything away. It's 8:45 in the morning. Time to head off. Should be down at Häckeberga probably about 11. It's only an 8k walk, but it's gonna be pretty steep and pretty bad. On the plus side, my boots are nice and toasty warm. I was expecting to be shivering as soon as I got outside of the tent, but this is just, look at it, it's just gorgeous. What a beautiful, beautiful morning. This view is absolutely amazing. That's the way I'm going to go. Those are my trekking poles falling down. That's the way I've come. So just up the side there. Just taken some pictures of this beautiful tree. I don't know if you can tell, but it's snowing right now. Very light, but it's snowing. And now it's snowing a lot harder. On the way from Krankesjön to Väderkullen yesterday, I was really quite disappointed at one point because I found this lake which looked like it might have been a quarry at one point. There were quite a few people around having barbecues, and there was this nice little kind of beach at the end of it. And I'll try and put a link to it on the video right now. But that would have made for some fantastic pictures and videos. But it was about 4:30 in the evening when I got there, and it was getting late. There was no light, so there was no way of really getting anything. It was such a shame. It's such a beautiful place. So I'll probably go back there at some point in the future. But this morning, I don't think if I'd have stayed at Krankesjön that it would have snowed down there. I think I'm quite high at the minute, relatively speaking, for Skåne. So I'm pretty sure if there was snow, then it wouldn't have been anywhere near as much as this. And so losing that opportunity yesterday to gain this opportunity today is more than worth it. I've always wanted to hike in snow and through an area that's had snow on it. I had a little bit of that in February last year in Häckeberga, same place, right? But I've not had it properly, and this isn't deep snow, it's just a light covering. Chances are it's going to be melted by lunchtime or so, and the ground hasn't frozen hard either, so at most it was probably -2, -3 last night. But this landscape is so amazing. I'll just turn the camera around. This is what I'm walking through right now, and if I show you on the ground, you can see it's still not frozen. That's why I'm slipping from time to time and watching the ground as I'm walking. But it is so amazing to walk through an environment like this. I think I have to go up to roughly where those cell towers are, up there, and then down the other side, and that should be somewhere around Häckeberga. And then from there, from that Lägerplats, it's a straight walk down to either Häckeberga lake itself, of one, and then on to Jenab, or whichever I want to do. Need to make the obligatory apology because I'm Swedish ain't så bra. So if I'm butchering place names, then please, and you're Swedish, then please accept my apology for that. And if you're not Swedish, please don't try to pronounce them the way I pronounce them. Now this is probably the biggest ant mound I've ever seen. You got all the holes as well down here. I don't think that many people come up here. So I can kind of understand why they built it here. That is huge. So this point I know, because on an earlier trip I came up from there, from Väderkullen, 3 kilometers away. So we're 2.5 into the trip today. The Häckeberga one's not actually listed there, so it means we're about 6.5 kilometers away. So yeah, there is, I think, one more very steep climb like the one I've just had, but I think that's the last one after that. And then once you get over the top of the hills, you start descending down into Häckeberga itself. If you remember that cell tower I mentioned earlier, I think that's one of them. So that means we should be about on top of the hills now. So that's the direction I've come from. That's the direction to Jenarp, which is about 3 kilometers away. Where I'm going right now though is just up here, because that's where Häckeberga Lägerplats is. I think I will probably follow this path across to Jenarp after I've had a bit of lunch here. I've only done that once and the sun's coming out, so hopefully I can get some nice pictures. It's taken, what time is it now, 10:30 or so? 2.5, it's going to take roughly about 2.5, 3 hours in total to get here. And that's because I've been taking so many videos and pictures. What a beautiful, beautiful morning. So I didn't take any video at Häckeberga because there's so many people there. And it's absolutely awesome to see parents and kids and grandparents out enjoying this kind of weather and this scenery. So I'm on the way to Jenarp now, and from there it will be bus home. This is probably going to be the last part of the video, so I hope you enjoyed the trip. The usual like, subscribe, etc, etc, etc. But more than that, if you've never been out to hike or camp, give it a try. It's fun. You meet strange new people, you see amazing new places. You do some pretty good exercise as well. And it's a pastime that kind of pulls you in and makes you a happy person, I think. Anyway, take care. Thank you. Bye bye.